This is Pulse of Africa, the face of Ethiopia, the voice of Africa.
Hello viewers, you're watching Pulse of Africa. I'm Adam Masai for the main news. First, our top stories for today. Namibia to shift from raw fish exports to seafood economy. Kenya launched patrol boat to boost wildlife conservation. Japan proposes economic zone linking Indian Ocean to Africa. Now the news in detail. The Namibian government plans to transform its fishing industry from a raw materials exporter into a comprehensive seafood economy, an official revealed on Wednesday. The government aims to raise local fish processing from 23% to 45% within 5 years, creating 15,000 jobs and cut raw fish exports by 60%. Minister of Agriculture, Fisheries, Water and Land Reform, Inge Zamwani, said mandatory processing rules will apply to all quota holders. Zamwani noted the sector's GDP share dropped to 4.1% in 2024, down from 4.5% in 2023 due to reduced allowable catches. Measures will also target bycatch reduction with fees raised from 15% to 50% and stronger action against illegal fishing along maritime borders. Fishing remains a key contributor to Namibia's economy through exports, jobs, and value addition. The Kenya Wildlife Service, KWS, on Wednesday commissioned a modern patrol boat for Sibuloy National Park in an effort to bolster the protection of Lake Turkana in the northwest region of the country. Erastus Kanga, Director General of the KWS, told journalists in the Kenyan capital of Nairobi that the water vessel, donated by its partners, is equipped with modern sonar and radar technologies. He revealed that the boat will improve safety for KWS rangers while enhancing their ability to secure Lake Turkana by enabling timely patrols. He observed that beyond security, the patrol boat is expected to open new horizons for tourism in northern Kenya through offering safer access to the lake and national park. Mokra Argao, Executive Director of the Horn of Africa Regional Environmental Center and Network, emphasized the importance of protecting both the water body and wildlife park as they are connected to wildlife parks in Ethiopia. United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres said Thursday that Africa has the potential to become a global renewable superpower if investments in green energy are scaled up. Speaking at the Tokyo International Conference on African Development, TICAD, Guterres urged greater financing and technology transfer to harness the continent's vast natural resources. He stressed that building a renewable energy and manufacturing base in Africa would lower energy costs, diversify supply chains, and accelerate global decarbonization. The call comes as African nations grapple with debt, climate change, and reduced Western aid, while China continues to expand its presence through major infrastructure projects. Japan is positioning itself as an alternative partner, pledging new support for Africa's economic development at the three-day summit. At least 47 people have been killed and over 56,000 displaced by flooding triggered by recent heavy rains in Niger, authorities said Wednesday. The floods have affected 7,754 households in 339 neighborhoods and villages, according to the General Directorate of Civil Protection. The National Committee in charge of flood prevention said it has started distributing food aid targeting 3,776 families. The government has set aside $21.3 million to help families and individuals affected by floods across the country, according to authorities. Flooding has emerged as one of the most destructive natural disasters globally, with Africa facing disproportionate impacts due to climate change, which has altered rainfall patterns. In other news, the United Nations Environment Programme and the International Civil Aviation Organization have launched an $82.5 million project to phase out toxic fluorinated firefighting foams at airports in Egypt, Ethiopia, Kenya, Nigeria, and South Africa. The FIRE initiative, backed by $10 million Global Environment Facility grant and $72.5 million in partner co-financing, will replace PFAS-based foams, hazardous forever chemicals, with safer alternatives. The project is expected to remove 4,500 tons of contaminated material and safely dispose of 130 tons of PFAS foam concentrates. Japanese Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba on Wednesday proposed creating an economic zone connecting the Indian Ocean to Africa as Tokyo seeks a stronger role on the continent amid declining U.S. influence and China's growing presence. Opening the Tokyo International Conference on African Development, TICAD, Ishiba pledged $5.5 billion in loans with the African Development Bank, support for AFCFTA and training for 30,000 AI experts. Ishiba said Japan backs the concept of African Continental Free Trade Area, which aims to bolster the region's competitiveness. Under the Indian Ocean Africa Economic Zone Initiative, Japan aims to bring investment into Africa from Japanese companies operating in India and the Middle East. The three-day summit in Yokohama focused on investment, peace, health, climate, and education, with leaders from about 50 African countries attending.
The story of resurgent Ethiopia and burgeoning Africa is here, only on the Pulse of Africa channel. All the time, Pulse of Africa, the face of Ethiopia, the voice of Africa.
Now to business news. Morocco's National Railway Office, ONCF, is securing £202 million in funding from German development bank KfW to modernize Greater Casablanca's railway network. This financing follows a $350 million loan approved by the World Bank in June, supporting the Service Intrametropolitan Rapproché SIR program. This investment aims to improve access to the employment and essential services by strengthening public transportation in Casablanca, while enhancing ONCF's railway capacity in the region. The funding will also contribute to climate protection and improve living conditions for local populations. Vietnam and Australia on Wednesday agreed to boost trade and investment cooperation, aiming to increase two-way trade to $20 billion and double mutual investment. The consensus was reached at the 7th Foreign Ministers meeting between Vietnam and Australia in the capital Hanoi, co-chaired by Vietnamese Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Bui Thanh Son and Australian Foreign Minister Penny Wong. The two countries called for further cooperation in science, technology, innovation, investment in high-tech, climate change, energy transition, and digital sectors. Before concluding, let us provide you with the latest updates on global commodities prices. Now to weather updates. That's all for today. Thank you for watching Pulse of Africa.
This is Pulse of Africa, the face of Ethiopia, the voice of Africa.